United Telephone brings communication services to more than 3,000 communities like yours in 19 states. United Telephone System, we connect you to your world.
Rock and roll's addicting, sex is addicting, but this is the most addictive.
Hood River, Oregon, the hub of windsurfing activity in the Gorge, marks a midway point between rainforest to the west and dry, arid desert to the east. Low-pressure systems tend to linger over the rainforest, held in check by strong high-pressure systems over the desert. The differential between the low and high-pressure systems creates turbulence. That means wind, and lots of it. Ancient rock walls, resulting from millions of years of erosion, channel the wind along the length of the river, making the Columbia Gorge America's one and only natural wind tunnel. Windsurfers thrive upon this atmosphere of wind and water. They swarm around these forces of nature. When the forces of man and nature collide, the results are often explosive. In this atmosphere of relentless turbulence, the windsurfer must beware.
Sometimes you're pushing the limits, and it's the only way you're going to improve, and you go too far sometimes, and you have to be aware that you're going to, that's the possibility of the wipeout.
The windsurfer is a craft upon which man may obtain a truly harmonious relationship with the natural forces he seeks to harness. However, the windsurfer sometimes steps out of bounds, goes beyond his limits. Nature responds with a quick slap in the face. Or slam on the back.
Panic of a save your ass type of thing when you don't want to eat it big time, so you get out, you bail out, It's kind of a rush, too, to do that. Let it go sometimes. It's a bit of a crowd pleaser sometimes, but mostly it's more safety. You know, you've gone over the top and you're no longer in control coming out of a jump, and you know that you're going to eat it if you try and land, so sometimes it's better just to step away in midair. I know there's nothing like it. It's the ultimate free ride.
It sucks. Getting slammed hard happens a lot if you're going for it, but you get slammed hard, you kind of lay there for a few seconds and wonder if you're okay, and you figure out that you are, and then you pick it back up and go for it again.
It's fun. I'd come up laughing. It's one of the most fun things about sailing is getting slammed, whether it's you or somebody else. You just laugh. It's hard to get hurt, so you just laugh.
And I'm not even too sure what I hit. It all happened so fast.
Especially in the gorge where you're dealing with so much wind velocity. Well, it makes you realize how powerful Mother Nature is and how small you really are.
Instant blur. And then it's just oh God, am I all right?
You know, there's some of the gladiator syndrome in windsurfing.
Getting slammed is kind of refreshing.
I always feel like I'm a rag doll, just kind of getting flopped down into the water. The last week, as a matter of fact, I separated the cartilage in the tip of my nose because I got slammed down so hard. I got hit in the face with my mast.
For some reason, I get launched a lot. I think it's because of my attitude. I don't. What can water possibly do to your body? As I limp away. That's the fun thing about the sport. You can get slammed big time. You can break your harness hook in half, but you can still hang on and get another ride.
That's a good slam. Usually it starts when it's blowing out early. It starts about 4 in the morning is when you get woke up by all the doors in your house being blown open and the windows slamming shut, and you just want to know when it's going to get light so you can get out there.
By 7 a.m., a well-defined cloud bank holds steady about 5 miles west of the fish hatchery. To the east is clear, blue sky. The stage is set for classic gorge conditions. The wind-crazed sailor must suffer the stress of knowing it's blowing 35 knots and she still has to drive to the river.
I feel physically sick as I'm driving to the beach quite often. Sort of the panic that I'm missing it, or I'm going to rig the wrong sail, and by the time I get out there it's going to die.
Panic. You're missing it. It's been blowing all night and you didn't wake up soon enough.
And I can't wait to get on the river. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack until I get on the river.
All of the terror of driving. Green, catch your moms, keep on fighting, and the sink will get on the road. The heat sucks in all the terror of driving. The air pulls backing away, backing away, backing. Tree under max, straight and biting, worse than the house and know. Gotta get over the water on the lips is meant to hold them together.
Your goal, a planing jibe. The first important aspect of a planing jibe is good board speed. You must be fully powered to begin your jibe. From this position, confidently remove your back foot from the strap, placing it firmly on the leeward rail between the front and back foot straps, and press down firmly. This weight transfer will initiate the carve, and the pressure must be maintained on the board throughout the jibe to complete the carve. Bending your knees to absorb the wave action and leaning into your turn will help produce a smoother jibe and promote quicker exit speed. As you carve, release your hold on the boom with your clue hand, and the sail will rotate naturally. As the sail jibes about, you should be able to reach out and grab onto the boom, sailing smoothly and powered up on a new course. It is important to concentrate on keeping your weight low on the board to prevent being catapulted forward upon receiving a fully powered sail. When grabbing onto the boom with extended arms, sheet in slowly so as not to stall the rig. Although at first it may feel awkward, your feet should not change position until you are sailing on a plane on your new course. At this point, by hanging some of your weight off the booms, it is easy to make a smooth foot transition into the straps. With a quick flick of the boom, you'll be back in your harness lines and ripping off in another direction.
Mostly I like turning because I love catching total G's where it feels like your chin's gonna slam into your knees. Just cranking tightest turns I can get. I like doing duck jibes, I guess, is what I usually do. Because I learned how to do those right away. I could do duck jibes better than I could do regular jibes, so I just always do those. And it's the best way to turn.
Being on a full plane is critical when doing an aerial jibe. Good board speed helps you jump off the water. As you become airborne, take your back foot out of the foot strap and turn the tail of the board up into the wind. As you change the direction of the board, reposition your back foot on the deck of the board, slightly windward and slightly ahead of the foot strap. As you approach your landing, position your board and legs ahead of you so that you may absorb the impact. As you splash back down into the water, butt first, hold onto your rig and it will pull you back up out of the water start position.
Sometimes you get really big waves here at the gorge. I've been twisted around pretty good, hitting the water pretty fast, going down the face of a swell here in the gorge.
Swells are big, and that's what I like, big swells.
The gorge is getting famous for its swells, which reach 6, even 8 feet high. People who see a 30-knot day for the first time stare out at the river in disbelief over the huge swells. It's no wonder that one of the most popular launch sites on the Gorge is called Swell City.
I've done it here as you can hear. It's happened in the past with Eiffel Towers, chest of drawers, and even flowers. I plant the seed that made these creatures stop it. I can read your mind. I can make things happen that would make you think. I am the watched, I hold my stand in hopes that other men will take my hand. Je suis le penseur and I can make you think. I've done it here as you can hear. It's happened in the past with Eiffel Towers, chest of drawers, and even flowers. I plant the seed that made these creatures stop them. Je suis le penseur and also the cure. Je suis le penseur and I will change you. Je suis le penseur and also the cure. Je suis le penseur and I will change you. Je suis le penseur and also the cure. Je suis le penseur and I will change you. I will.
Begin the 360 by taking your back foot out of the strap and placing it on the leeward rail as you would to initiate a carve when jibing. It's important to carve hard, keeping the sail low to the water to avoid getting back-winded as you come around on the leeward side of the sail. Continue carving hard, and at 3/4 of the way around, allow the sail to be back-winded and push the nose of the board back toward its original direction. At this point, position yourself on the windward side of the sail. Fill the sail with air and continue planing in the original direction. The following sequence was taken at Maryhill State Park, about 40 miles east of Hood River. Watch for Mike Waltz and Brett Lickle, two of Maui's finest.
You're smart, but ain't you rich? Your devil heart is racing. Someday you find life's a bitch and wonder what you've been chasing. I am happy as I am, and my soul is on the mend. I do not want to hear the plan. I do not want to understand. You just keep on talking. You're just digging your own ditch. But you just keep on walking. I am happy as I am, and my soul is on the mend. I do not want to hear the plan. I do not want to understand.
To begin the hell attack, take both feet out of the foot straps and place them on the windward rail of the board. Rake the sail back while sheeting in to bring the nose of the board into the wind. As the board crosses the eye of the wind, backwind the sail by pushing it away from your body and toward the nose of the board to continue board rotation. Push the clew of the sail hard into the wind while switching your feet to the opposite tack. At this point, flip the sail as you would on a normal jibe. Once you have both hands on the boom, sheet in hard, filling the sail with air. Turn the board off the wind, and you're on your way.
It's just a feeling of freedom and being able to go where you want, when you want.
Maybe I'm selfish, but I just love to do what I want. When the wind's blowing, I want to sail.
Black kids always running after me, but they don't know what to do when they catch me. I don't know what it is after me. They just want a piece of my fame and my fortune. Black kids, oh look out, 'cause there's a little black boy coming around the bend. It's okay, 'cause he just wants to be your friend. Kids, always on my autograph, always wanna talk to me after the show. They all you up to the dressing room, wanting me alone as it takes me to my limousine. Black kids, studio, asking lots of questions about the new LP. When's it coming out? What's the cover look like? Is it gonna be the best we've ever seen? Oh yeah. Six black kids. Oh no. Black boy, and he's coming around the bend. Oh, no, that's okay. It's okay, because he just wants to be your friend. Oh, black kid, always running after me, but they don't know what to do when they catch me. I don't know what they can say to me. They want a piece of my fame and my fortune. Black kid.
Begin the monkey jibe with full planing speed. Take your back foot out of the strap and place it close to the front straps on the leeward rail. Continue carving hard with your leeward foot while placing your other foot in front of the mast on the leeward rail. While stepping forward, backwind the sail, and continue rotating your body and sail all the way through the eye of the wind. Release clew hand, allowing your body to swing around the mast. Accelerate out of the turn as you would on a normal jibe.
Well, that's sort of the ultimate rush for me. You get totally weightless, 20 feet in the air or more if it's a good day. It's flying, low-level flying.
My favorite aspect of the sport is maximum airtime. Go for the biggest jump off the biggest wave you can find and just see how long you can stay up there.
Feeling is probably unbelievable. Just looking for that first wave to throw you up into outer space.
Probably the most fun is getting air. Hang time. It's getting up there as high as you can get and staying up there as long as you can.
I see maximum efficiency when I look at a seagull. So we're about at 0.0001% of the seagull right now.
Tom Magruder has maintained a truly unique vision in his quest for flight. His invention, the wind weapon, takes sailboarding into the realm of a new sport, sail soaring.
Basically, the pivoting wing combines hang gliding and sailboarding into one sport. I was a sailboarder. We called ourselves windsurfers. I wish that was still the name. But I had always wanted to hang glide and figured it too dangerous. I hit a slump in life and went ahead and learned it anyway. Both sports were holding a sail rig and using wind, using thrust and lift, and the same materials. It was obvious that there could be a way to combine the two. We're trying to design something that uses the wind to sail, to get the speed, to take off, to fly. That's the whole drive. I get on the rig, I launch, and immediately it's give me speed to take off and glide. Being able to beat gravity for just a few seconds is so inspiring. Well, mainly I have the aerodynamic control of a true wing. In other words, when we jibe, we do an aerodynamic turn. The wing pitches and yaws and rolls through a turn like a bird or an airplane. I'm highly intrigued by what the future holds because the feeling of taking off on wind power alone and actually flying effortlessly, hanging beneath a wing, supported by the air, which is something you can't see. It's closest thing to flying like I have in dreams than I've ever imagined.
The cure lies in the past.
Mount Hood stands tall as an icon for the Great Northwest, a symbol of immense beauty. It's also a great place to go skiing. Even in August, when temperatures rise, you can cool off in the snow on the slopes of Timberline Ski Area. When during an aerial photography session, I was joined by a red and white steerman, I knew something was going to happen. When I saw Jake Lombard, stunt double for James Bond, climb out on the wing, I had no trouble deciding what to do. Keep the camera rolling. Later, Jake told me that ground control had issued a hasty warning for wind. As an avid sailor, Jake had no choice but to make his descent to the river as quickly as possible. In the Columbia River Gorge, possibilities for downwind sailing are limitless because 20 to 30 knot winds will blow along a 20 or even 30-mile stretch of river. Please join Dave Russell, Bruce Peterson, and Pat Doherty, three of our most accomplished downwind sailors, as they tour a section of river between Celilo Falls and Rufus. During the trip, they will pass through Hell's Canyon and under the Mary Hill Bridge.
I think the addiction to windsurfing is that you can never get enough of it.
The first time you get it, it hooks you, and you can't stop. And you just go and go and go until your arms fall off.
Eye that I hang from my face makes people glare at me with this haze. They run away screaming and flee with fright. Oh, so I'm told, for I've lost my sight, lost my sight, lost my sight, lost my sight. Whoa, whoa. Leg that I use as a cane helps me stand up and causes me no pain. Well, I kicked a dog with it and made a fire with it, but with all my good fortune I'm doomed to run in place, run in place, run in place, run in place. Whoa, whoa. That I hang from my face. It makes people glare at me with disdain. They run away screaming and they flee with fright. Or so I'm told, for I've lost my sight, lost my sight, lost my sight, lost my sight. Whoa, whoa.
Begin the forward roll with plenty of speed. Once you have found a suitable ramp, head upwind straight toward the ramp. Avoid carving sharp into the ramp. Once you lift off the water, tuck your backhand in and push your front hand out, tucking your body over the boom and into the sail. It is important to keep your knees bent while thrusting forward to propel yourself through the roll. Land tail first, maintaining power in the sail, and sail away.
Nuclear winds are winds that you're totally blown out on your smallest sail, mine being a 3.2, and just being able to get the most air on the biggest waves.
Probably the highest gusts over 70.
Nuclear wind to me is when I'm blown off my 2.8.
Winds anywhere from 40 to 50 knots. The nuclear wind will blow you away.
We're here for the 3.0 and the 3.5 days.
Nuclear winds are definitely nuclear.
To begin the back loop, carve hard into the ramp. This will help you initiate rotation. It is important to keep your eye on the water as you rotate through the apex of your loop. At 3/4 of the way around, sheet out and prepare for landing. We would like to take a moment to thank some of the sailors who have appeared in Hard Winds of Blowin. Bruce Peterson, Paik Benson, Jeff Casper, Phil Rainey, Peter Duckjibe Wagner, Rod Parmenter, Dave Russell, Pat Doherty, Jane Parker, Bob Dill, John Forsyth, Jerry Percival, Mike Kitts, Scott Bell, Paul Coots, Tom Magruder, Chris Appleton, Brian Karlstrom, Mike Waltz, Brett Lickle, and Maui Meyer.
Rock and roll's addicting, sex is addicting, but this is the most addictive.
The Columbia River Gorge is the perfect place to learn the sport of shortboard windsurfing. Throughout the course of your new video, you will learn step by step basic water starts, sailing stance, advanced water starts, jives, and duck jives. Look and listen carefully, but most important, enjoy yourself.